everyone, how are you? As you can see, I'm surrounded by my plants today, so I got a variety of things. I potted up late last week, I think it was, and I have like 3 different types of tomatoes: cherry tomatoes, beef steak tomatoes, and the regular medium-sized tomatoes. I have different varieties of peppers. I've got jalapenos, I've got cayenne peppers, and the bell peppers. Got a couple of eggplants. What do we have here? That's red onions, white onions, and some romaine lettuce as well. Yeah, so it's a variety of things. Don't have a huge garden, but we'll figure out somewhere to put them. And actually, the cayenne peppers, they're not doing particularly great. I'm not sure if they're stunted right now, but I need to do something about them. Figure that out, but they're okay. What else? I think this week we're going to be learning about soil, living soil. So I think as gardeners, it's one of the most important things we can do is have a good quality soil, because that's fundamental to the health of the plants and the planet as a whole, to be honest with you. It's one of the things I try to do is not use chemical fertilizers the best I can, so go with as organic and create your own soil. The better. And so hopefully today, when you watch the video, you'll learn lots. I know I'm going to try and put it to practice. I do try every year, but you know how it is. Sometimes time and life gets in the way. So, but we try. Anyway, enjoy the video today, and leave any comments. I look forward to reading those if you have any, and feedback as always. So anyway, enjoy the show and talk to you soon.
Most of us think that building rich, living soil requires acres of land and a sprawling, steaming compost pile in the backyard. But you can engineer a highly complex, thriving ecosystem right here in the tight confines of an urban planter box. Today, we are going to build a fertile, well-draining above-ground garden bed completely from scratch without needing a massive backyard. To do this, you just need to gather a few basics: a physical container, some base soil, an indoor Bokashi bin, and cover crop seeds. Cultivating soil in a small footprint requires high-efficiency biology. By narrowing our focus, we can create a concentrated environment that supports intense plant growth. Step 1 is sourcing. Because we don't have the space to generate bulk compost on site, we have to bring the organic matter to the garden. You can easily source this material locally. Check your nearby municipal compost facility, reach out to arborists for clean tree trimmings, or purchase commercial manure. Just be careful if you plan to use grass clippings from your neighborhood. If those lawns were treated with herbicides, bringing those clippings into your bed will quickly destroy your new garden. Now let's prep the physical container. If you are building a raised bed directly over urban dirt, you must lay down a landscape fabric barrier first to prevent your new roots from reaching potentially contaminated topsoil. Next, we mix the base soil. Since we are in containers, we need to manage the weight. Adding minerals like perlite or vermiculite keeps the soil light while significantly increasing its capacity to hold water. But holding water leads to the most common beginner failure point: waterlogging. This diagram shows exactly why drainage is critical. Water needs to move smoothly through the porous soil matrix and exit immediately through holes at the bottom. If water pools, the soil goes anaerobic and the ecosystem dies. So drill those holes. By combining a properly draining container with an optimized base mix, we have built the essential physical skeleton required to support a living biological system. Now we need to feed that system. Let's head indoors to see how we can process our own kitchen waste without needing an outdoor compost pile. We are going to use a space-saving method called Bokashi fermentation. This replaces the massive, steaming outdoor pile on the right with a small sealed bucket under your sink on the left. The mechanics are straightforward. You place your raw kitchen scraps into the container and layer them with a special inoculated bran. Because this is an anaerobic fermentation process, the microbes in the bran break down the food rapidly, and since it is kept sealed, it breaks down without generating foul odors. Once the bucket is full and fermented, you take the resulting product outside and bury it directly into a corner of your new garden bed to finish decomposing. This process generates a steady supply of fermented organic matter within an apartment, bypassing the footprint of a traditional compost pile. Back out at the garden bed, it is time to manage the surface using the no-dig methodology. Do not till or mix this new soil. Aggressive digging rips apart the delicate fungal networks we are trying to establish. Instead, apply a thick surface layer of organic mulch, like straw or fallen leaves. This mimics the protective debris layer found on a natural forest floor. This cross-section demonstrates how the soil breathes on its own. When left undisturbed, soil life handles the aeration for us, pulling organic matter into the lower layers and leaving clear, open tunnels behind them. We pair that mulch with what we call living armor, following the rule that bare soil is vulnerable soil. To create this armor, we sow cover crop seeds, like cereal rye or nitrogen-fixing clover, directly into the resting bed. Before planting your main vegetables, cut these cover crops at the soil line. They instantly form a tight, protective mat of green mulch. Combining a no-dig mulch layer with living cover crops creates a self-aerating shield, protecting your soil structure from erosion and extreme temperature swings. Now that the bed is protected, we can look at the long-term plan for the vegetables you actually want to grow and harvest. The strategy here is crop rotation. If you plant a heavy nutrient feeder like tomatoes one season, you follow it up the next season with a nitrogen-fixing plant like beans to prevent the soil from depleting. The low-ground, diverse crops transform the soil. Deep-rooting plants push thick taproots downward, fracturing dense subsoil to break up compaction. Meanwhile, shallow, fibrous roots aggregate the topsoil, releasing sugars to feed clusters of microbes living near the surface. By rotating a diverse mix of plants, you ensure these roots act as both natural plows and biological feeding systems, keeping your compact bed resilient season after season. Let's review what we've built: a well-draining base soil, an active indoor Bokashi food supply, an undisturbed fungal network, and a protective cover crop shield. We have successfully engineered a highly active natural ecosystem entirely within the confines of a small above-ground footprint. Your immediate next step is simply patience. Give the bed a resting period to let the cover crops grow and the buried Bokashi settle into the soil. In our next video, we will cover the exact techniques for terminating those cover crops and transplanting your spring vegetables. Once you master these biological principles, physical space limitations simply don't matter. You can cultivate living soil anywhere.